your silence will not protect you. If I didn't define myself for myself, I would be crunched into other people's fantasies for me and eaten alive. I am not free while any woman is unfreeze, even when her shackles are very different from my own. When I dare to be powerful, to use my strength in the service of my vision, then it becomes less and less important whether I am afraid. Caring for myself is not self-indulgence, it is self-preservation, and that is an act of political warfare. I was going to die, sooner or later, whether or not I had even spoken myself. My silences had not protected me. Your silences will not protect you. What are the words you do not yet have? What are the tyrannies you swallow day by day and attempt to make your own, until you will sicken and die of them, still in silence? We have been socialized to respect fear more than our own need for language. I began to ask each time, what's the worst that could happen to me if I tell this truth? Unlike women in other countries, our breaking silence is unlikely to have us jailed, disappeared, or run off the road at night. Our speaking out will irritate some people, get us called bitchy or hypersensitive, and disrupt some dinner parties. And then our speaking out will permit other women to speak, until laws are changed and lives are saved and the world is altered forever. Next time, ask, what's the worst that will happen? Then push yourself a little further than you dare. Once you start to speak, people will yell at you. They will interrupt you, put you down, and suggest it's personal. And the world won't end. And the speaking will get easier and easier. And you will find you have fallen in love with your own vision, which you may never have realized you had. And you will lose some friends and lovers, and realize you don't miss them. And new ones will find you and cherish you. And you will still flirt and paint your nails, dress up and party, because, as I think Emma Goldman said, if I can't dance, I don't want to be part of your revolution. And at last you'll know with surpassing certainty that only one thing is more frightening than speaking your truth. And that is not speaking. I have come to believe over and over again that what is most important to me must be spoken, made verbal and shared, even at the risk of having it bruised or misunderstood. For the master's tools will never dismantle the master's house. They may allow us to temporarily beat him at his own game, but they will never enable us to bring about genuine change. Racism and homophobia are real conditions of all our lives in this place and time. I urge each one of us here to reach down into the deep place of knowledge inside herself and touch the terror and loathing of any difference that lives here. See whose face it wears. Then the personal as the political can begin to illuminate all our choices. And when we speak, we are afraid our words will not be heard or welcomed, but when we are silent, we are still afraid, so it is better to speak, remembering we were never meant to survive. Guilt is not a response to anger. It is a response to one's own actions or lack of action. If it leads to change, then it can be useful, since it is then no longer guilt but the beginning of knowledge. Yet all too often, guilt is just another name for impotence, for defensiveness destructive of communication. It becomes a device to protect ignorance and the continuation of things the way they are, the ultimate protection for changelessness. There is no thing as a single-issue struggle because we do not live single-issue lives. Revolution is not a one-time event. I want to live the rest of my life, however long or short, with as much sweetness as I can decently manage, loving all the people I love, and doing as much as I can of the work I still have to do. I am going to write fire until it comes out of my ears, my eyes, my nose holes everywhere, until it's every breath I breathe. I'm going to go out like a fucking meteor. The master's tools will never dismantle the master's house. Pain is important. How we evade it, how we succumb to it, how we deal with it, how we transcend it. Black and third world people are expected to educate white people as to our humanity. Women are expected to educate men. Lesbians and gay men are expected to educate the heterosexual world. The oppressors maintain their position and evade their responsibility for their own actions. There is a constant drain of energy which might be better used in redefining ourselves and devising realistic scenarios for altering the present and constructing the future. Our feelings are our most genuine paths to knowledge. My silences had not protected me. Your silence will not protect you. But for every real word spoken, for every attempt I had ever made to speak those truths for which I am still seeking, I had made contact with other women while we examined the words to fit a world in which we all believed, bridging our differences. I am deliberate and afraid of nothing. Sometimes we are blessed with being able to choose the time and the arena and the manner of our revolution, but more usually we must do battle where we are standing. I find I am constantly being encouraged to pluck out some one aspect of myself and present this as the meaningful whole, eclipsing or denying the other parts of self. I have a duty to speak the truth as I see it and share not just my triumphs, not just the things that felt good, but the pain, the intense, often unmitigated pain. It is important to share how I know survival is survival and not just a walk through the rain. Without community, there is no liberation. Unless one lives and loves in the trenches, it is difficult to remember that the war against dehumanization is ceaseless. But the true feminist deals out of a lesbian consciousness whether or not she ever sleeps with women. I Am My Best work a series of roadmaps, reports, recipes, doodles, and prayers from the front lines. Nothing I accept about myself can be used against me to diminish me. We have been raised to fear the yes within ourselves, our deepest cravings. Tell them about how you're never really a whole person if you remain silent, because there's always that one little piece inside you that wants to be spoken out, and if you keep ignoring it, It gets madder and madder and hotter, and if you don't speak it out one day it will just up and punch you in the mouth from the inside.